right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, preparing for potential flooding, the cleanup happening before the deluge. And a hot pinch point. Is the Missouri supply dwindling?
First tonight, we're in weather alert. I'm tracking heavy rain, thunderstorms, and the potential of flooding.
Right now, rain is falling in the St. Louis region. In some spots, it's coming down heavy with rumbles of thunder, and there is more on the way. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. When all is said and done, many will see up to 2 to 3 inches of rain. So let's get straight over to Weather First meteorologist Jim Castillo, who's in for Scott tonight with the latest.
And we're looking at already about an inch or just a little bit more than that at Lake St. Louis, and Lambert about 6,900. So it is adding up really quickly. And occasionally on the sky cams, you can see a lightning strike here or there. We have not had severe weather in St. Louis, but to the south, closer to that front, we have had some hailers and some wind gusts a little bit high down around Reynolds and Iron County. Look at all the lightning strikes here, hundreds of strikes from St. Louis southward. And zooming in where Iron and Reynolds County had a little bit of hail. Let's turn on the hail detection, and you can see that larger hail that rolled right across Lesterville with about a half an inch hail in the area. So a little bit high in terms of that hail, and it looks like that rain, boy, it's just coming down and soaking rain and heavy at times. So Lake St. Louis 1.21, New Melly 8400ths, Wentzville 5100ths, and Wildwood 4700s, Berkeley about 45. River flood warnings, we still are watching the rivers throughout the entire night. Right now, minor flooding on the Merrimack, Kaskaskia, Big River, and Black River. So a lot going on. Coming up in Maine weather, we'll time out when this rain finally tapers off.
And remember, you can get the Weather First forecast anytime on your phone just by texting the word weather to 314-425-5355. MSD and area road crews have been preparing for this next big rain for months in an effort to avoid seeing a repeat of last year's historic flooding.
Tonight, our Laura Barczewski is live in the Weather First Storm Tracker with more on those efforts. Laura.
Mike and Ann, people who are driving on northbound I-55 may see a lane closed between Bayless and Virginia. This is what I-55 looks like right now. And this is an area where they're expecting some flash flooding. There are quite a few flood areas we are keeping an eye on. I talked with MSD and the city of Brentwood about how they are preparing. The Metropolitan Sewer District spent Thursday cleaning out storm drains with what they call a vector truck so that water rushing through the streets has somewhere to go.
This is essentially a truck with a giant vacuum on it, and they were inspecting and cleaning storm drains. So a lot of times storms will wash yard waste, leaves, branches, trash, all kinds of things down into the storm drains, and those can clog the drains so that they don't work efficiently.
MSD says they have quite a few crews on standby to help in areas where issues pop up, and while they're not a flood authority, there are some things they can do.
So if you have water coming into your home through a basement drain or a low point in your house, absolutely give MSD a call. If you see ponding around a storm drain, that's where you should give MSD a call. We'll come out and take care of it.
And speaking of areas where water needs somewhere to go, the city of Brentwood says since the last major flooding event, they've spent a lot of money on creek cleanup.
After the flooding events this past summer with all the damage to the businesses, the city of Brentwood spent about $250,000 to clean out Black Creek, a lot of the debris that was causing this to stop the flow of the water at Black Creek and thereby causing it to jump the banks.
Brentwood Mayor David Dimmitt says they've completed 85% of their flood mitigation efforts through the Project Brentwood Bound. In the last few weeks, they demoed a bridge causing problems for Deer Creek.
Put in a new bridge, and the nice thing about the new bridge is it's taller, and we were able to widen the banks where the new bridge is. So it kind of removes the bottleneck that was there with the old bridge.
An important reminder, if you see standing water, turn around, don't drown. MSD has some tips for homeowners in case you have issues. You can find those on ksdk.com. You can see this right lane is closed. This is just after Bayless. And you can find all your weather information on ksdk.com. Reporting live from the Storm Tracker, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
Tonight, officials in University City say they're better prepared to deal with potential flooding. Many neighborhoods in the area flooded last July, costing the city millions of dollars in damage. The Stormwater Commission has installed 3 rain gauges in flood-prone areas. The reader gives first responders and residents a lead time of about 40 minutes.
I have more time now to rescue things out of a space that I'm worried about getting damaged. I guess for me, I think that it would definitely have helped a lot of my neighbors, because I know that we were trying to call people because it was 2 in the morning.
Residents can sign up for Code Red, a notification system that will send them alerts during emergencies via phone, text, email, and social media.
A St. Louis man was sentenced today to 5 years in prison after admitting he crashed a stolen car, causing the death of a 15-year-old girl. Kendrick Moore pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and other charges. The crash back in September of 2018 killed Devonna Riggins. Charges were not filed on the case for 16 months. At that time, the I-Team confirmed the officer who investigated the case was one of dozens of officers on Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner's exclusion list. Those are officers thought to be unreliable by the Circuit Attorney based on the officer's past behavior. And tonight, Gardner is still in the spotlight with accusations of out-of-control caseloads and a toxic work environment that's driving prosecutors to exhaustion and even medical emergencies.
These are among the reasons Missouri's Attorney General says Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner cannot keep enough prosecutors employed and needs to be removed from office. Tonight, our I-Team's Christine Byers sits down with 2 former attorneys in her office who say they saw it coming.
Once a prosecutor joins the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office, their names are listed outside the entrance. So are the dates they left. We talked to 2 of those former employees after the Missouri Attorney General filed new accusations against their old boss. Yelling at assistant circuit attorneys, failing to train, mentor, or supervise assistant circuit attorneys, remaining in her office with the door closed. I mean, does all of that sound accurate to you in your experience?
That is absolutely an accurate statement, without question.
They were willing to be interviewed as long as we concealed their identities. One of them is no longer in St. Louis, working at a different prosecutor's office. The other is now trying a case against Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner's office. Why did you leave?
Because working in a toxic environment isn't healthy.
In the 122 new pages Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey filed against Gardner this week, he says between 2017 and 2020, she either fired or accepted the resignations of at least 85 assistant circuit attorneys. Data from the city comptroller's office shows Gardner's office paid about $5 million in salaries in fiscal year 2017, her first year in office. That number dropped to $2.7 million in fiscal year 2022.
As a result of many attorneys leaving, the caseloads have grown and grown and grown.
Bailey alleges the caseloads have led to exhaustion and medical emergencies among some assistant prosecutors.
It's just unmanageable. It's untenable. You can't do it. One murder case alone requires an attorney to put forth at least 100 hours of time to handle it in all the different moving parts. If you have 30, 40 of those cases, it's impossible to do.
Gardner has until March 31st to respond to Bailey's most recent allegations. But Gardner did speak at a press conference days after Bailey filed the rare legal petition to remove her.
We're going to fight very hard for justice in spite of the vitriol, the hate, the racist attacks.
Do you think that this is all racially motivated, all politically motivated, that there's no truth to any of this?
No, I find that to be just a lazy argument. The reality is the numbers speak for themselves. There are real people in the city of St. Louis who are getting really hurt. Defendants whose rights are not being respected and honored, who are not getting their due process rights. Victims who are not having their attackers brought to justice. Finally, crimes that are happening that don't have to happen.
For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
Late tonight, Gardner's office responded to the I-Team writing, "Our office is reviewing the amended petition. We will issue a full response at the appropriate time. Our office cannot comment on personnel issues." The I-Team also spoke to 4 other former assistant circuit attorneys. You can read the newest court filings and their reactions at ksdk.com.
New information tonight about the man accused of killing both his grandparents in Troy, Missouri. Kathy and Donald McRoberts were found shot to death in their home Tuesday night. Lincoln County prosecutor confirms Davion McRoberts was arrested yesterday after walking into a psychiatric care center in St. Louis covered in blood. He's still being held in the hospital under police guard. Charges have yet to be filed. Recreational pot prices are rising in Missouri. Analysts say the sudden surge in sales is resulting in a current marijuana shortage across the state. New tonight, our Robert Townsend is here with reaction.
Mike, the marijuana shortage is definitely top of mind for the owner of one St. Louis area dispensary, but neither he or his customers are worried.
It's been less than 2 months since recreational marijuana became legal in Missouri.
It's not uncommon for us to just be go, go, go.
And while business is booming at Starbuds dispensary in University City, owner Chris Chesley and his team are now seeing a statewide surge in pot prices.
Probably the beginning of this month, we started to notice a little bit of prices going up.
Analysts say initially Missouri predicted more than $50 million would be spent on cannabis, but now they're seeing sales almost double.
Missouri has exceeded expectations of what a lot of people thought that this industry would look at or, be like.
As a result, there's now a marijuana shortage, which pushed pot prices up across the state. Starbuds flower sales bumped up 3%.
Flower's always been king in this industry, and it still is to this day. So keeping that in stock has been a little bit of a challenge, but we're making it happen.
Well, just like any other goods for sale, supply and demand will soon as level out once they figure out, how much to grow.
Starbuds owner agrees he's remaining positive.
As soon as we get more cultivators online, hopefully we're not going to have to put that onto the customer. I think the price fluctuation is only going to be temporary.
Analysts predict if the rise in marijuana prices lingers, some businesses could see at least a 50 to 60% hike in some products.
In the House's hands, tonight the debate is over in the Missouri Senate. What's next on legislation impacting transgender youth in the Show Me State? Weight loss gummies, they are not one of Oprah's favorite things. Tonight we verify how to spot other scams that will only make your wallet thinner.
Weather first, Doppler radar showing a lot of rain, some thunderstorms on it, very heavy downpours. How much rain will fall? I'll have the expected totals coming up.
The Weather First storm tracker is out and about as storms move through the St. Louis area. Flash flooding is still a concern since some areas will see up to 3 inches of rain over the next several hours. Meteorologist Jim Castillo will have an update in just a few minutes. Tonight, 2 bills impacting transgender youth are moving forward at the Missouri State Capitol.
The state Senate overwhelmingly passed 2 bills this morning. One would ban puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and surgery for minors. The other would prohibit schools from allowing student athletes to compete in competition designated by sex that doesn't align with the biological sex. Democrats filibustered both bills, but lawmakers eventually reached a compromise to move the bills forward.
It's unclear whether the later you regret so you will look back and realize it was the wrong road and the wrong thing to do.
So if the positions that we are taking are so extreme, my assumption is we wouldn't be maintaining those majorities at the level we are.
An amendment allows minors going through transition to continue until August, when the law would take effect. Both bills still need approval from the House. Promo Missouri, a LGBTQ+ advocacy group, released a statement tonight. It reads in part, "This action demonstrates their motivations of using transgender bodies as political pawns and their false belief of having the expertise to ban life-saving health care for children in the state of Missouri." The group is holding a protest for trans rights rally at the state capitol next Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Tonight, we know Jana Elementary School in Florissant will not reopen. The Hazelwood School District made the decision this week. It comes after months of conflicting reports on radioactive contamination detected both inside and outside the school building. It's from nuclear waste from nearby Coldwater Creek. Senator Josh Hawley is demanding the passage of a bill to clean up the school and other district buildings. Tonight, the clock could be ticking down for TikTok in America.
TikTok poses as a Mr. Rogers neighborhood, but it acts like Big Brother.
Just hours ago, the CEO of the popular social media app wrapped up 5 hours of tough questions on Capitol Hill. He was met with harsh bipartisan criticism over the app's connection to the Chinese government. There's a push to ban the popular app in the U.S. over national security concerns.
Oprah is known for sharing her favorite things with fans, but some are questioning ads showing her endorsing a new way to lose weight. Ariane Till from our Verify team has the skinny.
Verify viewer Deborah texted us this ad, and it appears to show Oprah Winfrey endorsing a line of weight loss gummies. Deborah asked us to verify if that ad is legit. So we went to these sources for an answer. In a video on Instagram, Oprah set the record straight.
I have nothing to do with weight loss gummies or diet pills, and I don't want you all taken advantage of by people misusing my name.
Ironically, scammers have edited that clip into more misleading ads like this one.
How Oprah Winfrey from this to this? The answer is
weight loss gummies.
Oprah Daily, Oprah's digital publication, also published an article denying her involvement with weight loss gummies. So we can verify, no. Oprah is not endorsing weight loss gummies. Both the Federal Trade Commission and the Food and Drug Administration have warned of similar scams. The scammer's goal? Convince you to give them your credit card information in order to get a free bottle of celebrity-endorsed miracle health or cosmetic products. Then, bam, they surprise you with hidden charges. This warning from the FTC says to approach celebrity testimonials with caution. Search for the product online alongside words like scam and complaints. And remember that the government doesn't review or evaluate supplements. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
What would you like for us to verify? Send an email. The email address is verify@kstk.com.
Well, we remain in a weather alert. Weather First meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott tonight, and it's coming down there.
It is. You know, and we'll watch this throughout the night and into tomorrow. That's the issue here. So look at this lightning that's been popping up. It was right over the metro. Now a lot of it in Illinois and also south of the metro. But you can't rule out a thunderstorm throughout the night. Now the severe weather with hail has been in our southern counties and very limited, very isolated. And then you get to southwest Missouri, the green area here. Those polygons, those are flash flood warnings. Haven't seen that yet, which is good news, but that may change as we get into the night. So Lesterville is one of the spots that had that larger hail. Now just some thunder and lightning through there. And then you look at the hail detection and you can see that batch of hail. We've had a couple of them move through Reynolds County, one right there, and into Iron County and also Madison County. But that's the only report of hail that we've had. Otherwise, it's a soaking rain, whether you're on Interstate 70, right through Greenville and Vandalia and up to Effingham, are right through St. Louis. So 55, 170, 270, and through Arnold, Festus, everybody's getting a soaker tonight. Now, the only spots that haven't is Pike County and also Greene County. So Pike County, Missouri has been relatively dry. Not underneath that flood watch tonight, but from St. Louis southward, that flood watch continues all the way till 1 a.m. on Saturday. We did start out at 68 in the morning hours. 46 is the current reading, and about 69 hundredths in terms of rainfall. Here's the front that moved through. We dropped into the 40s. We'll likely stay in the 40s all the way through the daytime tomorrow with that training of showers and storms. So one after the other, it just redevelops and follows this front, or north of that front, we'll find that rain. And we might get a break in the morning, and then in the afternoon, Friday, watching a resurgence of this moving in our direction. So flooding is a concern, you can imagine. It looks like rainfall potential is about 2 to 3 inches around the metro, 1 to 2 north, so lesser amounts up there, and then maybe 5 inches in some of these spots down to the south. So that obviously is going to cause some issues. Severe weather potential increased a little bit. Yellow's now been added to our southern counties. This is where we've had that hail and 60-mile-per-hour gusts in spots. Not expecting that around St. Louis. So tomorrow, 40s for highs. That kind of keeps the air stable, this cool weather. Northeast wind 5 to 10, gusts to 20, but still a soaking rain, and you can't rule out that thunder and lightning. So heavy rain tonight and into Friday, and creeks and rivers and streams will run very high. And of course, 10-day forecast showing temperatures over the weekend will start to get a little bit better here Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. So lesser chances for rain.
All right, Jim, thank you. Frank, what's coming up?
And the Cardinals have lost a pitcher, the Blues have found a goalie, and we're talking City SC and the Battlehawks.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer, 10 years.
There is a little bounce in the step of the St. Louis Blues. No, they're not going to the postseason, but they are finding players to build with almost every week now. And the guy behind me, Joel Hofer, could be their best building block. Blues down 2-0 in the first in Detroit, and Alexei Toropchenko unleashes a wrister from the blue line, 2-1 game. You want to see incredible hand-eye coordination? Jordan Kyrou will shoot it, and watch the deft touch by Braden Shen to deflect that in. Man, is that great. Now this is solid hockey. Colton Parayko will shoot it, Sammy Blais will pounce on the puck, and it's 3-2 Blues. Hofer, rock solid. The glove save right there. He made 27 saves. Blues win 4-3. The kid is 3-0-1. The older you get, the more injured you seem to become. Adam Wainwright has a groin injury. He will be on the injured list for several weeks. Jake Woodford likely moves into the rotation, and it will either be Miles Michaelis or Jack Flaherty on opening day. Yankees and Cardinals in Jupiter today. And you know, we haven't touched on Wilson Contreras much in spring training. All he's done is hit .311 with a .417 on base percentage. And Steven Matz had another really good day. He went 6, allowed 1 run, finishes his spring with a 1.53 earned run average. Cards and Yankees tied today 1-1. Matz is so happy to put behind his injury-plagued 2022 season.
Look at that. You know, you want to show the team what you can do. You want to show the fan base what you can do and how you can help them win. And yeah, it was a bummer last year, but you know, I got all that behind me. I feel like it's stuff you can learn from. You know, different things on how to take care of your body along the way. So you know, I'm happy that this is a new year and a clean slate.
The Battlehawks will be in Las Vegas to face the Vipers on Saturday night, and they won't have 35,000 cheering for them this weekend. In fact, Vegas plays their games at a soccer stadium, and they average 6,000 per game. Quarterback A.J. McCarron is second in the XFL in touchdowns and completion percentage. He had 2 scoring passes in the loss to D.C. last weekend, and he only has 4 picks in 182 attempts. He credits offensive coordinator Bruce Gronkowski for designing a quarterback-friendly system that he's been familiar with in the past.
West Coast offense, you're putting stuff in all the time, communication, hand signals, like everything has to be on point. So Bruce has done an unbelievable job for us to only be together for really, you know, a little over 2 months.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
St. Louis City SC will play in Utah on Saturday night. Will the perfect season continue? SC has a great chance to be 5-0. Real Salt Lake is 1-2, and they've scored just 3 goals all season. I'm wondering, did City SC expect to be 4-0?
Well, I didn't expect 4-0, but I expected us to have a good start. I expected us to be competitive from day one. You know, that you not always can measure purely in results, because the game in Austin could have gone another way.
Yeah, a little bit surprised, but I mean, after the first week and the whole preseason, how the guys worked, the whole team worked together, it is not a surprise. But in soccer, you cannot even not always go on how hard you work. Sometimes you need also a little bit of luck, and we had that luck.
I cannot show you any NCAA tourney video, but we can tell you that UConn blew out Arkansas 88-65, and Kansas State beat Michigan State 98-93 in overtime. Probably the best sporting event I've seen this month.
Are your brackets doing okay, guys?
Oh, they were busted
Not
a
really.
long time ago. Frank, opening day just a week away. Who's the starting pitcher on opening day?
Well, it's I think it's going to be Miles Michaelis. It wouldn't stun me if it's Jack Flaherty, but if you look at the last 3 or 4 years, Miles Michaelis has been the best pitcher. But maybe they want to show Jack, hey, look, you are our franchise. We want to keep you here for a long time. We think you have great talent, but I'd still lean towards Miles.
And Jordan Walker, does he make the team?
You know, he's really slumped down the stretch, but if you still look at his body of work in spring training, Mike, John Mozeliak said spring training is the land of opportunity. And Jordan Walker was their best outfielder overall. He deserves to be a starter on opening day.
All right, Frank, thanks.
Coming up, we've got big changes under the big top, the missing act at this year's Moolah Shrine Circus. The Moolah Shrine Circus is back in town. Shows begin tonight and run through Sunday at the St. Charles Family Arena. For the first time in 80 years, there will be no elephants. In 2014, the circus made headlines when 3 of its elephants escaped and roamed the parking lot at the Family Arena in St. Charles, damaging multiple cars.
Well, we remain in a weather alert. Jim has a final check on the rains and storms moving through tonight and tomorrow.
Yes, that rain and thunderstorm activity will stay with us off and on throughout the night. In fact, it is steady and widespread now. Might get a break in the morning and more redeveloping as we get into tomorrow afternoon. The flood watch continues until Saturday at 1 a.m. and we'll also watch for isolated severe cells down to our south and our southern counties. And of course, drying out as we get into the weekend.
All right, Jim, thanks very much. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. They will have all the latest on the weather overnight. And have a great tomorrow.